Hi, Shameik. How are you?
Hey, we're maintaining over here, one step at a time.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm so pleased I got the chance to talk to you today because I love the show, and I was looking back at some old season one interviews where you talked about not knowing much about Wu-Tang Clan when you were cast. So I'm curious to begin with how you would say your relationship with their music and Raekwon have evolved as you head now into this third season.
The music, yeah. All I've been doing is listening to the music. Like, I'm a fighter, so when I'm boxing, I'm pretty much only listening to Wu-Tang. I throw in Biggie though. Biggie be in the mix, but yeah, it's just Wu for real. And yeah, it's been an honor this whole time, and playing Raekwon the chef is like I don't really even know how to explain it. It's really like finding a part of myself, you know. It's like I got to he was gracious enough to allow me to meet him, you know, and take in what was able to take in, and I've been able to apply that to the work, and yeah, that's all I got.
That's awesome. And of course, hip hop is incredibly important to this series, as it was in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, for example. So, do you find yourself gravitating towards projects where music is a big part of the stories that you're telling as an actor?
I think I think the stars are just already aligned, you know? I think what's for me is for me, and I kind of just walk in my purpose. So the fact that and I think I make everything me. It's like I'm like I try to be like what Bruce Lee said. I try to be like water and just kind of take the form of whatever, you know, the container is. You know what I mean? So if it's Spider-Verse, you know, I add my like you know, and here it is. It comes off the way it comes off because they got my water in there. You know what I'm saying? And the same thing with Wu-Tang or Dope, the Get Down. It's all really just, you know, purposeful. It's what I would be good in, and that's why I have the job, you know. It's like it's good for me, you know? It's like,
Yeah, for
yeah.
sure. And of course, in this season, we start seeing each member of the group, they're finding individual success to varying degrees and it starts to drive a wedge between them in some cases. So for Raekwon's arc, what did you really enjoy exploring about that this year?
Well, now, like, you know, first season, it was like, nah, I'm gonna get my food, son. You know, second season, it was like, it was like, all right, we here. So what's up? Like, what we doing? If we gonna do it, we gotta do it. So like, yeah, I'm doing it. I'll give you 5 years. What's next? You know? And this season is like, oh shit, son! I got my money up. I'm over here. I'm about to make my album, son. Yeah, y'all know what's going on. It's like, yeah, I'm here. Like I'm here. You know what I'm saying? I know what I got. You know, and I've been working hard to be here. So it was nice to experience, you know, that through the character because I don't really move that way as me. You know, I don't move that way as me. So I enjoyed being allowed to explore that part of my own like spirit, you know.
Yeah, for sure. And of course, this is the final season. So do you feel like this was the right time to end the story? Or do you think there was maybe more you could have done with Raekwon and you would like to have delved into if you'd had the chance?
Perfect timing. Ready for the next character. Yep.
Yeah, for sure. And now you do look back at the show, though. What do you think has proven to be the most important thing about getting to tell this story and to spread this quite inspiring, the messages and just what all these guys went through?
Yeah, I mean, you know, people it's not just them, you know. It's and I think that's why Wu-Tang is so important. Like, you know, it's a show to a lot of people, but you know, and then when you think about reality, like the show is like putting a lot of things together and it's still kind of fictional in a way, you know. It's some reality in there and it's like storytelling, you know. So I say that to say like people need representation and there's a lot of people that are dealing with things that these guys were dealing with in the 90s, you know what I'm saying, today. You know, so people need to like people it's representation and the actual like when you dive into like what's being said and what's being taught, you know, through the mathematics and like the actual like the special sauce that OG and all of the creators are putting in there underneath it. It's like it's for the people that it's for, and that's just it's doing what it's supposed to do. It'll probably be a slow burn, it'll probably like the people that have seen it so far have seen it. I think the more everybody else like me, Ashton, Sadiq, TJ, everybody involved, Jonelle, as we continue to blossom in our careers, this show will continue to have its legs for sure.
Yeah, well, you guys have done an amazing job. And of course, you're playing this very iconic member of a very iconic group. So have you found that the expectation from the group's fans is similar to what you experienced when you played a comic book character like Miles Morales, or has it been quite a different experience in that respect?
Um, it's funny, like, Miles Morales, I think it's just the crowd. Honestly, I think people respect me the same way for the art itself, but I think who is talking about what project is really like, or where the influence plays a role. Like playing the chef comes into play like when I'm doing things, like walking to a club or I'm at a boxing match, or like it's weird. It plays a role in more real life, like assertive situations, whereas like Spider-Verse plays a role, you know, I just moved into this new condo and I can see like the water and stuff. And there's a dude that owns a boat whose son is like a fan of Spider-Man, of Miles Morales. They're eating at the same ramen spot, and I'm overhearing them talk about like them looking forward to the ramen. I mean, into for the upcoming Spider-Verse. And I'm like thinking like, and we start talking off of that. You know what I mean? I just think most they didn't know it was me, but when I spoke, it was like you get what I'm saying? It's all kind of like it all just kind of like does this. It's like one thing kind of helps the other. So I hope that answers your question. It's like each and
Yeah.
even dope comes into play with like, you know, I can't even I'm thinking off the top of my head. At this moment, it's not really at the top of my head. But even like one of my favorite fighters, like Terrence Crawford, I'm on the phone with him. My boy was sparring with him. I'm on the phone. He puts Terrence on the phone. We talking. He like, yo, you was on the get down, right? Yeah, we was watching that. So it's like it kind of connects each thing kind of plays this role for me. It's like
Yeah.
it's interesting how it really goes out. I don't have to buy a boat. I can just, hey, you know what I'm saying? Such and such, hey, have
Well,
access to a boat.
that's so cool. And talking of Miles, Into the Spider-Verse, it won an Oscar. It changed animation, I think, forever. So these past few years, what's it been like for you to see the legacy of that movie and that character grow? And I think a lot of people really fell in love with Miles because of you and what you did in that movie. It must be quite a special feeling.
Yeah, I mean, honestly speaking, I think Miles Morales is beyond Shameik Moore. I think I'm honored for, the opportunity to do it. Um, but I don't, I bring my sauce and it is me for a reason, but I don't really think that way. Like it's about me, because it's none of this is, for real. It's like I'm just a vessel. So, but yeah,
Yeah,
it is an honor. All of it's an honor.
for sure. And of course, you have got two movies across and beyond the Spider-Verse on the horizon. So have you finished working on those? And is there anything you can tease about obviously where Miles' journey goes from here?
Hey man, we SpiderVerse, man. I'm in Wu-Tang energy at the moment, but SpiderVerse is that's a I mean, what can I share? I can't really share much. We're going into the Spider-Verse. We're traveling and we're gonna see a lot of amazing things. I think the first movie was about taking that leap of faith, and I think this movie is more like it's more than anyone can wear the mask, but it's about how you wear it. You know, it's about like the decisions you make and like really owning it, you know. And the correlation between Wu-Tang and Spider-Verse really is that it's about family, it's about standing for something, you know. Um, yeah.
Oh, amazing. Well, I cannot wait for that one. Cannot wait for people to check out season 3 of Wu-Tang because you guys again knocked it out the park and Shameik, such a pleasure to speak to you. So thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm sure we'll do another one for Spider-Verse though.
Fingers crossed.
All right.
Thanks so much.